A very good morning, children. How are you all? Today we are going to learn the prose, the fun they had. Let me give a short introduction about the previous class. In previous class, I have taught you some important characters, and number one is Margie, second one is Tommy, and next one County Inspector, and next one is Mrs. Jones. Who is known as Mrs. Jones? That is Margie's mother. Okay, Margie's mother, Mrs. Jones. Okay, Margie was 11 years old. Margie was 11 years old. Tommy was 13 years old. Okay, this story takes place in 2157 on May 17th. Okay, as I told you before, these children are learning in virtual classrooms. So on the day, Tommy found a real book from the attic. Real book in the sense, the book what we have, a solid and individual printed copy. Okay, Tommy found a real book. Okay, real book from the attic. So these two, Margie and Tommy, started to read the book. The condition of the book is it's a very old book, yellow in color. Okay, can you remember that? Yellow in color and it's full of crinkly, that is folded a lot. That was a very old book. But Margie was once informed by her grandfather, that is, when he was a small child, his grandfather informed him about books. What book that we have now? That is printed books. He told this to Margie. Okay. And Margie and Tommy were eagerly reading this book. That time, Margie was asking Tommy what the book was about. So Tommy told the book was about what? School. So after hearing this, Margie was she was raising a question to Tommy, that is, what makes someone to read about school? What makes someone to read about school? Because Margie hated the school like anything. Why? Because Margie's teacher, who is Margie's teacher? The mechanical teacher. Can you remember, children? Mechanical teacher, MECHANICAL, mechanical teacher. So Margie's mechanical teacher, especially in the subject of geography, she gives test after test. To whom? To Margie. And she started to doing very worse. Okay. Finally, Margie's mother came to know that it was not a problem of her daughter, but it is a problem of the mechanical teacher. So finally, Mrs. Jones, that is Margie's mother, called the county inspector. For what purpose she called the county inspector? To check the mechanical teacher. So county inspector had come and he repaired the teacher within 1.5 hours. But what was Margie thinking? Margie was thinking that this mechanical teacher would be taken away from the home. Why she was thinking in such a way means, once Tommy's teacher was also not working properly. Okay, and Tommy's teachers, especially in that history slot, was entirely erased. For that, Tommy's teacher was taken away from the home for 1.5 months. So she was expecting the same thing should happen to her, but unfortunately, to her surprise, in this county inspector, he has repaired the mechanical teacher within 1.5 hours and he gave back the teacher. Okay. Margie hates one thing the most, that is keeping test papers or homework in the slot where she has to keep the test papers and homework, that is known as slot, and she hated the most because whenever she keeps the paper, the teacher would be correcting it in no time. So she hates it a lot. Can you get, children? That's why Margie was asking Tommy what was the book about. He told it is about school. That is the only reason Margie asked what makes someone to write about school. Can you get, children? This is where I stopped. Let me go on to today's class. Okay, listen. Tommy looked at her. Okay, Tommy looked at her with very superior ways. Superior ways in the sense giving important. Okay, just giving much important. He is looking at her. What? Like such a expression he gives. Okay, Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes, because it's not our kind of school, stupid. Because before this, okay, before this previous line, what was asked? Margie was asking to Tommy, what was the need to write a book? What was the need to write a book about school? What makes someone to write about school? That's what she asked. For that, Tommy is answering in this paragraph. Can you remember, children? Okay, Tommy looked at her with very superior eyes, because it's not our kind of school, stupid. This is the old kind of school. This is the old kind of school that they had hundreds and hundreds of years ago. Here they refers to whom? Here they refers to, that is Margie's grandfather's grandfather, because that duration, okay. Here that they had hundreds and hundreds years ago. Here they refers to Margie's grandfather's grandfathers. Okay, ma'am. He added loftily. Loftily in the sense what? In a superior way. In a superior way he says, pronouncing the word carefully, centuries ago. He said, this was written centuries ago. Okay. Margie was hurt by hearing this answer from Tommy. She was hurt because she was not aware of such thing. Okay, so she got insulted with it. She felt she was insulted. So she was hurt. She felt hurt now. Margie was hurt. Well, I don't know what kind of school they had all time ago. She said, I don't know what kind of a school they had all that time ago. Who says this? Margie says this. She read the book over his shoulder for a while. So what is meant by over his shoulder? Because here see, who has the book now? Tommy has the book, okay. So she just peeping the book. And she is reading the book. She read the book after completion of this reading, okay. That's what given. She read the book over his shoulder for a while. Over his shoulder means just peeping and she is reading, okay. Then she said, anyway, they had a teacher. Which means what? They also might be suffered like her. Now how she is suffering? In her way, in her point of view, she is suffering, right? Okay. So she says that anyway, they too had a teacher. In that tone, she says this. Okay. Sure, they had a teacher. But it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. Okay, see that? Sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. Here, the word they refers to whom? What is it? Margie's grandfather's grandfather, and that is hundreds centuries ago, who lived, this word refers to the one who have lived centuries ago. Okay, ma'am? Sure, they had a teacher, but it wasn't a regular teacher. Here, regular teacher stands for Margie's teacher, or who? Mechanical teacher. Okay. But it wasn't a regular teacher. It was a man. So now only Margie came to know that it was a man. A man? How could a man be a teacher? So Margie is asking, A man, how could a man be a teacher? How come possible? She is asking. Why she was asking such a question here is, Margie's teacher. Who is Margie's teacher? The mechanical teacher, the robot. So she was familiar with the mechanical teacher alone. Okay. She haven't ever heard the classes or teaching process will be done by human beings. She hadn't ever heard. So after hearing Thomas' statement, it becomes what? Surprise to her. That's why she asked, a man, how could a man be a teacher? So she is asking. Further, Tommy is answering. So who is asking the statement? This is Margie. Okay, this is Tommy. Now, this statement said by Tommy. Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions. So he said, who says? Tommy is saying that, well, he refers to whom? The teacher, the human teacher. Can you get, children? Human teacher. Well, he just told the boys and girls things and gave them homework and asked them questions. So what was the work of human teacher in those days? That is, they will be teaching the concepts, they will be teaching the things, and after that they will be asking questions. Okay, that's what they did. So who is explaining these things? That is, Tommy is explaining these things to whom? To Margie. Can you get, children? Okay, now Margie is asking, a man isn't it smart enough? A man isn't it smart enough? So what was the question she raises here is, if man is a teacher, if man becomes teacher, if man teaches to everybody means he should be knowledgeable. He should have much knowledge. That's what she is asking. A man isn't it smart enough? Is man, the teachers are that much smart enough to teach human beings? Okay, why she is asking this question now? Because she was taught by mechanical teacher. Mechanical teacher knows a lot many things, isn't it? So she just compares this human teachers with mechanical teacher. That's why she is asking, a man isn't it smart enough? Are they that much smart? Are they that much smart enough to teach? She is asking. Who is asking? Margie. Can you get, children? Good. Now, sure he is. Sure he is. Who is saying the statement? Tommy. Okay, Tommy. Sure he is. My father knows as much as my teacher. So here Tommy compares his father with the mechanical teacher. He says, my father, that is Tommy's father. My father knows as much as my teacher, which means what? His father knows a lot many things like a mechanical teacher, he says. He knows almost as much, I betcha. He knows almost as much, I betcha. Betcha means that is I bet. He bet, okay, he bets. He is very sure in the context, that is his father knows a lot of things. That's what he is trying to convey here. He knows almost as much, everything he knows. If my father can learn so many things means, why can't the people who were lived in the centuries ago, why can't they learn that much thing, and why can't they become a human teacher? Can you get, children? That's why he says, sure they are smart enough. Who are smart enough? The persons who lived in centuries ago, they are smart enough and they can give a lot many information to the children. Can you get, children? Now, Margie wasn't prepared to dispute. Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. What is meant by dispute? That is argument. Okay. Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. She don't want to argue on the topic. What topic? Tommy told, no, his father knows so many things like a mechanical teacher. She don't want to argue on that particular topic. So just she moved on it. That's what given. Margie wasn't, okay. Margie wasn't Margie wasn't prepared to dispute that. She said, I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me. I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me. Here the word strange man, okay, it refers to the teacher, the human teacher. Strange man here refers to the human teacher. Why she says in such a way, I wouldn't want a strange man in my house to teach me, because Tommy before said it was taught by human beings. Okay, so Margie thought that human beings will be coming to students, okay, to children's house to teach. For example, you just imagine yourself as Margie and you are thinking that I am coming to your home in person to teach you. Am I coming? Are we coming, children? No. But she couldn't understand and she was not aware of it because she was following the virtual classroom methods. So, her teacher always be in her class. Who is her teacher? A robot. So, they will have a robot. So, they will be learning, just switching on the robot and they will be learning the lessons. That's why she asked, she don't want to keep a strange man. That is what is meant by strange man, that unknown person. Okay, strange man means unknown person. She don't want to keep a unknown person in her house to teach her. Can you get, children? Okay. Tommy screamed with laughter. He started to laugh. Why? You don't know much, Margie. You don't know much. The teachers didn't live in the house. So, Tommy is giving explanation. That is, the teachers didn't live in the house. They had a special building and all the kids went there. What does it mean, special building here? That is schools. Okay, schools. So, school is considered as a special building. Okay. So, Tommy says the teachers didn't live in the house. They had a special building, that is schools. Okay. In other word, you can say that is school. They had a special building and all the kids went there. Okay. And all the kids learned the same thing. Who is asking this question? Tell me. And all the kids learned the same thing? Yes, of course, it was said by Margie. Okay. And all the kids learned the same thing. Why she was asking? Okay. See, let me give you the answer. Wait. And all the kids learned the same thing? Sure, if they were the same age. If the children belongs to the same age group, they will be taught the same content, okay, not separately. For one child giving one kind of subject or to another child teaching some other subject. That way was not followed for all the children who belong to the same group. For everybody, they followed only one type of teaching, that to one thing. Okay, but here who says this statement? That is Margie. Okay, children. But my mother says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches. So, she says a teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Who said this statement? Margie's mother. Why she said in such a way means they have a robotic teacher. Robotic teacher don't have feelings. It can't understand the feelings of the children. Okay. See, just imagine we teachers are coming to classes. When you feel it's very hard, we will teach you by following some other way, or else I'll make it as clear. I'll make it make you to understand in a better way. Okay, by using some methodologies or giving some shortcuts. So this is how we will teach you. But whereas when you compare this mechanical teacher, how it will teach? Okay, it can't understand the level of the children. So, usually what they will do, that is the people in future, that is Margie's mother, what they will do means, the teacher has to be adjusted. They will be adjusting the teacher to the level of the children. Can you get, children? A teacher has to be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches. So it should be adjusted. If the robot is going to teach for first standard children, means according to their level, that should be adjusted. If it is not adjusted, means if the same robot is going to teach for the child who is learning in 10th standard, if the robot is not adjusted, means what happened? It won't teach the 10th standard portion, instead of it will be teaching the first standard portion. That's why the mechanical teachers should be adjusted to fit the mind of each boy and girl it teaches, and that each kid has to be taught differently. Yes, every kids will be in a different way. Their understanding capacity will be different, their way of learning will be different. So according to that, the mechanical teachers should be adjusted. That's why Margie is asking a question of what she was asking. She is asking, and all the kids, okay, and all the kids learn the same thing. How come all the children can learn a same thing? The teacher should be adjusted. You say it is a human teacher. One human teacher, how they can understand the level of the children and how they can be adjusted. She is asking. Can you get, children? Okay. Now who is answering? Tommy is answering. He says, you just put a comma here, then you will get it very clearly. That is, so children, you just put a comma here, then it is easy for you to understand. Okay. So here Tommy says, just the same. Just the same, it stands for what? Just the same means that is understanding the level of the children. Okay, just the same. So Tommy is saying, yes, just the same. The centuries ago, the teachers followed the same method in the sense adjusting themselves. Okay, they will be adjusting themselves. Here we will be adjusting the robot. No need to adjust the robot because we are dealing with human beings. So human beings can adjust themselves. So that's what he says. Just the same. Yes, they too adjust themselves according to the level of the children. They didn't do it that way then. Actually, they didn't do it that way then. That way in the sense not gearing up, down, or what is it? Putting the somewhat speeding up or slowing up the levels or segregating the children. Actually, here what happened? See the previous line. Each kid has to be taught differently. Actually, if you have a robotic teacher, we will adjust according to our level. Okay, learning process. We know our speed and our methodology. According to that, we will be changing. But here, and if you can't go with the if you can't go with the robot, we will change the robot. Like it can be changed or it can be adjusted. And even it can be, we will go with what? We will change robotic teacher. That's what. Can you get, children? But here they didn't do it that way. But here teachers won't be changed. At the same time, teachers won't segregate the children. If, for example, you just imagine in your classroom, so many children were there, okay, and their understanding levels were different. But have ever teachers segregated you? No. But we will be teaching them, we will be telling them some clues or points, but we never We never segregated them. That's what here he says. Just the same, they didn't do it that way then. That human teachers were not geared up or slowed up and they didn't segregate the children, but they understood the level of the children. According to that, they will change themselves and they will be teaching. Can you get? This is what here Tommy says. If you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. Here the book stands for which one? The real book. Okay, the book that they have, no, that is. So he says, if you don't like it, you don't have to read the book. Why is he saying so? Because she was asking too many questions again and again. No? That's why he said, if you don't like the book, you just give it me back. No need to read it. I didn't say I didn't like it. Who says this? Margie says, I didn't say I didn't like it. Margie said quickly. She wanted to read about those funny schools. Why she says? Because she wanted to know lot of things about the funny schools. That is, centuries ago, how the school was. Okay. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called. Margie, school. They weren't even half finished when Margie's mother called, Margie, school. How our mother used to call us now, like that. Margie looked up. Not at Mama. She don't want to go. Why? Because she wants to know about which one? The centuries ago schools. How? By reading the book. Which means she wants to read the book. She don't want to go for the class. That is school. That's why she said, no Mama, not Mama. Now, said Mrs. Jones. But she said, now, you have to go for school. It's time. Okay. And it's probably time for Tommy too. And she says, Tommy, for you too the same time. You have to go for school, no? In such a way, Tommy's mother is saying. Okay. So Margie said to Tommy, can I read the book some more with you after school? And she was asking. Why she was asking? She was very interested, okay, interested, and she wanted to learn the book. She wanted to know about the school. That's why she said, can I read the book some more with you after school? She wants to get permission because that's what, that book is not hers, you know. Okay, now, he said, maybe. He said, maybe. He said, nonchalantly. What is it? Nonchalant. He said, nonchalantly. He walked away. What is meant by nonchalantly? That is, not showing much interest. She was very eagerly asking, shall I do it? But he said, no need. Okay, maybe. He is telling this answer in a what? In a careless way. Okay. He walked away. He walked away whistling. And the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. What is meant by tucked? Tucked means that is kept safely. Okay, the dusty old book tucked beneath his arm. He just kept the book safely under his arm and he was whistling and he started to move. Okay, Margie went into the classroom. So now she about to what? Go to the classroom. It was right next to her bedroom. Where is Margie's classroom? That is next to her bedroom. How nice it is, isn't it, children? It was right next to her bedroom. And the mechanical teacher, okay, and the mechanical teacher was on and waiting for her. Who is waiting for her? The mechanical teacher. It was always on at the same time every day except Saturday and Sunday. Why? Holiday for Margie. So the mechanical teacher will be on a particular day, especially except on Sunday and Saturdays. Clear, children? Now, because her mother said, little girls learned better if they learnt at regular hours. Why Margie's mother called her to go for learning? Little girls will be learning much. They can learn. They have the ability to learn a lot, that too in a better way when they started to learn in a regular basis. That's why Margie's mother forcing her to go for the process of learning. Can you get, children? Now, the screen was lit up. What is meant by lit up? That is lighted. Lit up means lighted. Okay, the screen was lit up, lighted, and it said, it refers to whom? The mechanical teacher. It said, today's arithmetic lesson is on the addition of proper fractions. Please insert yesterday's homework in the proper slot. Who says this? The mechanical teacher says. Actually, she hates this, no? Which one? Slot. Okay. Margie did so with the shy. What is meant by shy, my dear children? That is unwillingness. Okay. Margie did so with the shy. She was thinking about the old school. They had when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy. Just she was recalling, nostalgic. The word you can here use is nostalgic. Nostalgic in the sense remembering the past, okay. So she started to nostalgic about the old schools. That is, when her grandfather's grandfather was a little boy, how the school was. Okay. All the kids from the whole neighborhood came. So here we were given description about the old school. How was the old school means? All the kids from the whole neighborhood came laughing and shouting in the schoolyard, sitting together in the sitting together in the schoolroom, going home together at the end of the day. They learned the same things, so they could help one another with the homework and talk about it. But Margie's case, it is entirely different, She can't get from anybody to do her homework. She can't even discuss what she had learnt that day to somebody to get their opinion, because she was given different syllabus, and she was different syllabus she was following, So she can't discuss these points with anybody, and she can't get the help from anybody to do her homework. She can't enjoy. If it is a school, the children go and they talk freely and they can play and they can go back to their school at the evening. They can enjoy. But everything missed in the case of Margie. Can you get? And the teachers were people, and the main thing is, she says that is, and the teachers were people, which means what? They can understand her. She cannot go and tell the mechanical teacher, ma'am, I didn't do the homework, can you give me excuse, or I have taken leave, ma'am. Like, she can't ask any excuses. Once the teacher completed the portion, it start to give the test, and that will be corrected, and what? No consideration, okay. It's a mechanic, it's a machine. It is not dealing with the feelings of the children, right? So she just nostalgic about it. She just wants that school, okay. And the teachers were people. The mechanical teacher was flashing on the screen. When we add fractions half and quarter, so the sums is going on, okay. But the teacher was taking class, but where is Margie? Margie was thinking about how the kids must have loved it in the old days, how they must have enjoyed it, okay. She was thinking about the fun they had. Here they refers to whom? Yes, her grandfather's grandfather days, the people who lived in her grandfather's day. Can you get, children? Okay, let me sum up today's class. That is, she was asking what makes someone to write about school to Tommy, and Tommy was explaining because it is about the old school. In centuries ago, in olden days, teachers, the human beings are the teachers, and they have enough knowledge to clarify the mistakes of the children, to teach them, because they are dealing with the feelings of the children, okay. That he said. And she was asking the knowledge about the teachers, that too he discussed, okay. And she was asking how come the human teachers will come to house, and for that Tommy said it is not a human teachers won't be coming to children's classroom. Instead of that, they will be going to schools, a special room, special place that is known as school. The children will be going there. Before completing that book, Margie was asked to go for classroom. There her mechanical teacher was waiting, and she started to teach maths and sums, and really she hated, and just she was thinking about the normal school. Can you get, children? Okay, children, in next class I will be teaching you all how to write classworks. In this first time I will be writing, you just follow me. I will be writing the theme and messages, and how to elaborate long answers, how it should be written, that I will be teaching, because up to your grade 8th, you have written only 5 to 6 lines as a paragraph and 2 or 3 lines as a 2 marks. No, that can't be considered here, because we are writing that for 8 marks. So we should write at least for 1.5 pages. So in next class I will let you know how to elaborate, okay, with the hints I will be giving. And in next class, get ready with your classworks. Okay, children, don't forget. Thank you, children.